Thank you for joining us on the PLA Coaching Cycle Platform and Process course. My name is Lisa Garza, and I'm the VP of Leader Development. I am part of the training team, which is also part of the Human Assets team. What is the coaching cycle? We want to make sure that you understand what is important here at PLA, and the coaching cycle is one of those things. The PLA coaching cycle is an online platform that allows leaders at both the network level and the school level to identify strengths and opportunities for improvement, both holistically for the school and individually for the teacher. Teachers immediately receive their observation feedback through email following the observation. Why do we use the coaching cycle? Well, effective coaching encourages our teachers to engage in reflective practice, which is a critical aspect of professional growth. By engaging in meaningful conversations with their coaches, teachers can analyze their teaching practices, evaluate the impact on student learning, and identify areas for improvement. And one of our core values is continuous improvement, and we want to make sure that we are always looking to grow professionally and improve the impact that we have on student learning. So there are 5 steps in the coaching cycle. The first one is that the coach conducts an observation. We're going to talk about each one of these steps in a little bit more detail. Then the coach and teacher have a coaching conversation. This then allows for the coach to provide feedback, and the coach will provide one glow and one grow. The coach will also share resources that will benefit the teacher and help them to continue to grow in their teaching practice. And the last step is a follow-up observation by the coach. That this is important because we want to make sure that whatever the coach is coaching the teacher on, the teacher can then implement that feedback in their classroom. And so the follow-up observation allows for the coach to make sure that feedback has been implemented. So let's talk about the first step, which is in the coaching cycle, which is an observation. The teacher goes in and does an observation for 10 to 12 minutes, and they're looking for evidence of best practices being in place. What we want to make sure that you as a teacher understand is that the coaching cycle is not punitive. This is an opportunity to help the teacher improve in their teaching practice, which then will impact student learning in a good way. So this is important for you to remember that it is not punitive. We are looking for best practices and then trying to identify one area that can help, that the coach can help the teacher improve in. Now, it's important for you to know that we have 11 domains in a rubric that you can access. And in this rubric, it provides the focus for the observation. And so the coach goes in looking to find specific areas that they can coach the teacher on. So for instance, there are 11 domains, as you saw. And so each month there is a domain that they can focus on as a coach. And so this is a sample schedule found in the academic playbook to ensure that all teachers get the support they need. And so an example of this is in August, domain can be the focus. Domain 1, I'm sorry, can be the focus. In September, domain 4 can be the focus along with domain 10 for coaches. In October, domain 6 can be the focus for teachers and domain 11 for coaches. And so if we go back and look at excuse me, if we go back and look at the different domains, you can see what their focus is about. And so we talked about domain 1, here's culture and behavior management, domain 4, which is scholar engagement. And so these domains are important in the work that we do to ensure that teachers can continue to make the biggest impact on student learning. Here's an example of what the rubric can look like. And one of the resources you'll have is a link to this rubric, because it's important that you learn what this rubric entails, so that way you are prepared to understand what your coach is looking for. And so this is an example of domain 1, culture and behavior management. If you look at the rubric, there are several indicators. Each domain has 8 indicators. Right now, you can see indicator 1.1 and indicator 1.2. There are 4 different ways to assess the teacher through what's called a performance level indicator. And so there is highly effective, which gives you 4 points, effective, which gives you 3 points, improvement necessary, which gives you 2 points, and then requires action, which provides you with 1 point. You can see that as the coach goes in, they are looking for the percentage of scholars that are engaged in the lesson. And so if you have 90 to 100% of your scholars engaged in the lesson, then you'll get a highly effective rating. If there are 70 to 90% of scholars engaged in the lesson, you'll get 3 points, and you will be rated effective. And that is where we want all of our teachers to be at a minimum. If you're rated highly effective, then that is even better. If only 50 to 70% of your scholars are engaged in the lesson, then you will be rated improvement necessary. And if you only have 50% or less of your scholars engaged in the lesson, you will be rated requires action. So it's really important that you're working towards the effective domain. The effective rating. And so that means 70 to 90% of your scholars are engaged in the lesson. Now, the rubric provides critical attributes for both the teacher and the scholars. And so it's important for you to be able to look at this and figure out what is required of you to be able to get that rating of effective or highly effective. And this is provided for every indicator in each domain. And so this is just one example of what that looks like. So as we mentioned, the first step in the coaching cycle is to do an observation. So the coach will do an observation. And so we want to show you a video so you can see what that looks like as far as a coach comes in, what they want to look for and what they're looking for as they walk in. So please watch this video and think about what that looks like, what you want to be able to do as the coach comes in to observe you.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's distribute our ones. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, back to collection. Yep. 2, 2, back. 2, 2, 2. So she'll put 1 sticker back. 2. Oh, that was supposed to be 3. 4. 4. 4. So we divided it up by 4 friends. So hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 8, 12, 16. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There were 17 over here. So we brought 10. We have 4 over here. There should be 14. Huh?
I gotta make this neater.
Yeah, that's 17. 4, 8, 12, 16. One remaining. So we have 110. We have 110 and 4 ones. 14. And we can put our R over our one remainder. Because that represents, and it'll be remainder 1. Because we have one.
We gotta
left.
write a statement.
So,
Wyoming.
I hear the timer going off. That means that your time is up. I heard some really interesting conversations going on. I love the way that you were helping your partner, supporting each other's success. Great job.
All right. So we're going to look at the rubric so that way you can get an idea of what that looks like. So if we go to domain 4, for student engagement, that is right here in indicator 4.6. So we talked about that a coach will go in from 10 to 12 minutes, and they're looking for if they're looking for student engagement, as we showed in that video, the coach is looking to see that 70 to 90% of the scholars are actively engaged in their learning and demonstrate stamina, right? It says that the scholars work hard and are actively engaged in learning rather than passive about the learning material. They demonstrate some stamina and grit as they engage in their learning. So we were able to see in that video that 70 to 90% of the scholars were actively engaged. We were primarily focused in those two individual students. However, when the camera took a wider look back, you could see that at least 70 to 90% of them were engaged. And I would actually even go as far as that 90 to 100% of the scholars were actively engaged in their learning, which says that the scholars are completely invested in their work. They are actively engaged in learning rather than passive, and they demonstrate a high level of stamina and grit as they engage in their learning. Now, that video was only for a little over 2 minutes, and so it could be that the scholars their stamina isn't as high once you've been in there as a coach to look for to observe for 10 to 12 minutes, and so that could drop to effective or even lower. And so your coach goes in with this rubric and is looking here to determine what rating to give you. And again, there are critical attributes. And so it's important that you as a teacher go back and study this rubric and really learn what are the critical attributes for each indicator. And I know it's a lot because there are 11 domains. However, not all domains apply to you, depending on what you teach. And so it's important that you take the time to learn these domains so that way you're more prepared and are able to be more successful and understanding of what your coach is looking for. All right, so coaching cycle step 2. This is the opportunity for the coach to have a coaching conversation with you and the coach to have a conversation between you and her or him. And we want to make sure that this happens because it's important for them to be able to share with you what they observed. And so that should happen between 24 to 48 hours. And so please expect that, and it should be happening between 24 to 48 hours. during that coaching conversation, we also have step 3 happening, which is when the coach is providing you with some positive feedback. Again, remember that that observations in the coaching cycle are not meant to be punitive. The coach is there to help you grow in your teaching craft. And so we definitely, though, want to be able to provide, as a coach, some positive feedback. They're going to give you at least 1 or 2 things that you did well as a teacher during that observation. But just like we discussed before, continuous improvement is one of our core values, and we do have a coaching cycle in place because we want to help you as a teacher grow in your teaching craft and make a stronger impact in student learning. And so they will create one bite-sized goal that they can coach you on and help you to improve on, so that way you can provide a better and stronger impact on student learning. In step 4 of the coaching cycle, the coach will provide you with some strategies and resources to help you in that coaching area, and they will either give you some links that you can access. For example, you could go into the Learning Institute, which is our online um, on-demand platform where you can take a course that can help you grow in that one particular area. They can also provide you with a link to the professional learning website, which the training team has, that provides resources for every domain. And there are videos and articles that you can access as a teacher that can help you improve in your craft, and specifically in that area that you are that they've provided that one bite-sized goal. And so this is really important because we want to make sure that you have the resources to be able to grow and become stronger in your teaching craft, thus being able to impact a stronger, provide a stronger impact on student learning. And the last step of the coaching cycle, before it repeats itself again, is a follow-up observation from the same domain so that you as a teacher can show your growth. And so it's important that we make sure that we go back, because if the teacher is not implementing the feedback, then they are not then growing and thus not improving the learning, the opportunity for the students to grow in their learning. And so the coach will then go back and do a small observation, a short, small observation, to be able to see the teacher in action, implementing what he or she coached the teacher on. So those are the 5 steps of the coaching cycle. We want to share next with you what the PLA coaching cycle platform looks like. You will be given a link, and that's one of the resources here in the course that you can actually access, that will take you to the coaching cycle platform. This is what the landing page looks like for the coaching cycle. It is the platform, and you will be able to log in by putting in your work email address. And since it's your first time logging in, you will then go to forget your password, and you will put your email address there, and it will send you a link to be able to log into the coaching cycle platform. You will create a password, and then you will use that password each time that you log in. Once you are able to log in, then you will be able to look at your observations. You will click on the school that the school where you are at, and then you will find yourself and be able to see your observations and the feedback that you're receiving. Again, you will receive, though, between 24 to 48 hours, an email of the observation notes that the coach took. And so that will also take you to the coaching cycle platform. If you have any questions, further questions about the coaching cycle, you can reach out to your principal for support on that. And if you are struggling to access the coaching cycle platform, you can reach out to Brianna Nufus at bnufus@phalenacademies.org, and she will be able to help you log into the coaching cycle platform. Thank you for your time on this, and we hope that you have a good understanding of what the coaching cycle is about and what you can do and how you can log into the coaching cycle platform.